You are looking
And
very
oh
pleased.
boy, can you tell. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Whatever Show. I am Lawrence Winterman.
And I am Dana Dubois, and I'm reporting to you from the field, Lawrence. I feel like I should have a
Yes,
mic.
the fields of LA. How are the fields of LA?
So far so good. It's early, as you know, same time as in Seattle, 7 a.m. I'm also staying at a hotel very close to the airport. Can you hear the plane?
I can't hear, but I knew where you were going to tour the college, and I was like, well, so you're basically staying at the airport.
It was still a $40 Uber to get here. It was
Yes,
like,
welcome to LA.
wow.
God, I miss that city. It's so
Do
weird and
you?
crazy, and I loved it.
I can already, the vibe here is totally different. Like we got to our hotel and I was just like, hey guys, they were welcome. I'm like, we're so happy to be here. And she was like, oh my God, I totally love your vibe. Or no, she didn't say vibe. She
Yeah,
said, I
it really
totally love
is
your
it
energy.
really is like that.
I totally love your energy. And I was
Right.
like,
Do you want to
okay.
hang out and be friends? I love your vibe.
I totally, but they have, they didn't have the little shitty like coffee service in your room like, most hotels have. Because I always assume you can get a black tea and something to make it blonde anywhere. And they were like, we have breakfast service in the morning. They were like, the food here is just not very good, but the smoothies are like so good.
That-
And I was like, oh, we're in
You're in
LA
LA.
now. And I was like, okay, great. So I went downstairs 15 minutes, before go time. And they were like, oh, we don't have tea. You could maybe go to the Starbucks. And then I was like looking everywhere for the Starbucks but it was in Ralph's. So I just had to go. And that made me feel very Big Lebowski. You got a Ralph's around here. And so I do have black tea. So I'm awake. And that's all I know of LA so far, other than I'm broadcasting from an empty restaurant that's all like open air over a pool that I'm definitely going to
Ooh.
visit later. Yeah.
Yes.
You-
Yes,
So I,
we need the obligatory Dana in a bikini at a pool in a tropical location shot.
oh, it won't be a bikini. It'll,
Well,
my bikini
come
days
on.
are over,
Come on,
honey.
friend.
My bikini days have long since passed.
That's funny because my bikini days are only just starting.
Oh, I believe that, Lawrence. I believe that. Also, I'm really pleased. Like, I'm looking at myself because, I'm on my phone today, not my computer. And because it's already light out here and I'm just outside, all my lighting problems have disappeared. The
Uh,
problem is I just need to move further south where it's light out at 7 a.m.
yeah, there you
and
go.
and just
Yeah,
sit
your
outside.
lighting is spectacular today,
Yeah.
so congratulations.
At some point, maybe
My
I'll
lighting
change
is not
my.
messed up. Mine is highlighting the fact that I went to the tanner at the gym yesterday, and I was like, sure, up it from 7 minutes to 9 minutes. What's the worst that could possibly happen?
Oh my God.
This. This is what could happen. I could
Look at
turn
you.
bright fucking red.
It's
Violet,
very,
you're turning violet, Violet. Take
it's
her to the
very,
juicer.
it's very Santa Lawrence core, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the red
Womp
and the
womp.
beard. Womp, womp. No,
I wanted you to know I'm wearing a new shirt.
oh, what makes
Makes me want
me,
a hot dog real bad. Do you know what this quote is from?
I, I can't remember, but I do recognize the quote. What's it from?
It's Legally Blonde 2. It's the Jennifer Coolidge character. She sees
Oh,
Elle dressed up in red, white, and blue, and she goes, "You look like the 4th of July." And then she gets all wistful and says, "Makes me want a hot dog real bad." And, the gay high command was like, Winterman, that's clearly your new tagline. You need to make a t shirt and wear that around. And
yeah. Can you model that again now that I know what it says? Oh my God. Are you going to wear that out? I know some of your t-shirts you
yeah,
don't feel
yeah, no,
safe
for
wearing
sure. I'm
out
going
in
to
Fort Wayne
confuse all the folks in Fort Wayne, and they're going to look at me and
and be like,
blush and
I want to
yeah.
hear the reactions that you get from that one because it's not
It's better
political,
than my fuck Trump shirts, which potentially get me killed here in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
right? Oh, here comes
Yeah,
another plane. Wow. We're close.
Fortunately, the mic on the iPhone is so good that we can't really hear the background noise from the plane. So,
It's the
so you're
opposite
good,
of it's the opposite of my usual podcast mic, which is like Kira is 2 floors above me and barks, and everyone can hear it.
right?
That's
We
good.
should mention that
It's
it's
fucked up
fucked up
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah,
And it's fucked up
Lawrence.
Friday today, and we have an extra special guest. Matt McNeil from the Matt McNeil Show is here to join us and compete in the time-honored tradition of Fucked Up Friday.
And he is live from Minnesota.
Live from Minneapolis, the current
Live from
center of the universe. Without further ado, let's
Bring him
add Matt to
on.
the conversation. What is up, Matt McNeil?
Hello, guys. It's nice to be here.
Hi.
I know a lot of places, by the way, Lawrence. If you wear that shirt, you're going to get hot dogs. I mean, it's like, well, you want a hot dog? Oh, great.
Yeah, no,
I got some corn right now. I'll get you a run right now. There you go.
I mean, hey, look
We
at me.
lost
Do
your
I look
audio,
like I've
Lawrence.
ever
I
said
can't
no
hear-
to
or
a
at
free
least I
hot
can't
dog?
hear you.
Hot dog, man. You know, it makes me really miss a hot dog right now. I mean,
I see, right? It's a total like Pavlovian
I'm
thing.
feeling
You
very
read the
left
T-shirt
out. I
and you're
can't
like,
hear Lawrence.
yeah, actually,
Can you,
I do
Matt?
want a hot dog.
I can hear Lawrence, yes.
Okay.
Dana cannot hear you, Lawrence.
Oh, really?
As soon as you brought Matt on, I lost you.
Well, Dana, do we really need Lawrence at this point? Just you and I can have a
Matt, let's
loving
talk.
conversation about.
Oh,
There we go. Hello
Look
there.
at that. We drove him right off. Matt,
Hello.
why don't you go? I've watched your show broadcast on Blue Amp a few times, but not being from Minneapolis, I'm not familiar with your show or anything about you. So could you please tell your audience
Oh, sure.
about you? Oh, he's
Yeah.
back.
No problem. I'm an old school radio guy. I started actually in Armed Forces Radio Network. I was U.S. Army, and I
Okay.
started in Nuremberg, Germany. I was broadcasting afternoon drive in Nuremberg way back when. I said, okay, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
Went to school for it. Ended up in Beloit, Wisconsin at WGEZ. I was at KDAO in Eldora, Marshalltown, Iowa. Went to KKBJ in Bemidji, Minnesota. Then eventually spent 3 years down at the Iowa State University flagship station, KASI KCCQ, and I did work down there. And then my wife and I said we wanted to have kids. We're both from Minnesota, and we said, let's go back home. So came back up here, worked for various outlets, Metro Traffic and stuff like that. And then in 2010, I was called by AM 950. Which is one of the last remaining progressive radio stations. They heard in my traffic reports, I was kind of like, because when Dick Cheney would come into town, it's like, oh, good, the Dark Lord himself. As you can tell by the Death Star parked over the city. Dick Cheney's in town, so watch out for delays on 35W, that sort of thing. And they said,
Yeah.
okay, this guy might be in our political wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And so they brought me on
Okay.
in, and I've been working over at AM 950 ever since. And I host a show. It's carried in Chicago. It's carried in Seattle. It's carried in, of course, on Blue Amp, and of course in Minneapolis, St. Paul on AM 950 up here.
Amazing.
We're
Did you
super
say
excited to have
Seattle?
you.
I
Matt,
thought
did I
I
hear
heard you
that-
say Seattle.
We carry on KKNW up in Seattle. So
Oh.
I'm and on Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm at 5 o'clock, and in the evening I'm on at overnight, like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm the rest
Okay,
of
I'm in Seattle, so I can tune in live. And Lawrence, I still can't hear you.
yeah.
All right, I'm going to boot Dana and then bring her back.
Okay. Now it's back to
There you go. All right, maybe that worked.
Oh.
Did that work?
no.
All right, Dana, we need you.
That's wild.
Matt, can you translate
Can
for
the
me and tell
audience hear
Dana
all
we need
three
her
of
to
us?
drop
I-
from the
I
call
can't see
completely
the
and come
chat.
all the way back in?
I should
All right,
probably.
hey, Dana, I have been
Yeah.
given technical instructions. First
Okay.
of all, you have a lovely time. I'm glad you found the black tea. That's good stuff over there in Los Angeles. We need you to completely and totally dive out of this little fun experiment and then come back in completely. Can you do that?
The old turn it off and turn it back on again and see if that fixes things. So Lawrence,
It's how I
you can hear
solve most
me.
of my problems.
Lawrence, you can hear me. Not if you can hear me.
Yes,
All
you
right.
can.
This is very weird, Lawrence. Why is the universe blocking you? Anyways, I'm gonna leave. I'll be right back.
Beautiful.
Bye.
Bye.
I've been in management before.
Yeah, it like having the show and producing the show and doing all the technical things. I think you know a thing or two about that, Matt.
The thing is, this is you guys. I mean, the podcasting stuff, this live streaming stuff. You guys are generally doing it all yourself. I got my producers, and I mean, if all of a sudden I was required to, fire off the commercial breaks and do all the calls and do all that stuff, I wouldn't be able to do that at all. Now, Lawrence, I'm going to let you talk to see if Dana can hear you now.
Hello.
Hi. I
Oh,
hear you
good. Thank
both.
goodness.
You can hear us.
Indeed, turning it off and turning it back on again is what fixed the problem.
You know, the 80s technology fixes were always the best.
Right.
Apparently
Matt,
so.
I gotta know, are you like us, a Gen Xer, or
Yeah.
are you
1968. I'm 1968.
A millennial.
Yeah. No, I'm not scared of the millennials. Nothing against millennials. I'm not. I'm just Generation X. So come on.
All right, all right.
I'm terrified of the Generation Z. I got 3 of them, and they are going to. I have a feeling they are going to finally fix the mistakes of this planet, and so they are. I mean, I had my oldest daughter was out in those 2 weeks of protests in the city before she went back to college, and she was just like, "I'm so damn angry, Dad." I'm like, "Okay, okay." All right, you keep going. So no, I was born in 1978 in Minneapolis. So yeah, and I lived in Rhode Island. I lived in Georgia, Minneapolis, overseas with the military. So yeah.
All right, you are legit Gen X. One
Yes,
of
ma'am.
us. One of us. One of us.
One of us.
Yes. We're 1970s babies. So
I'm the oldest.
Oh.
Well, I am the portrait of Dorian Gray.
No, you're the youngest. We were
Didn't
born in
you say
1970.
78?
I'm 68.
Oh, 68.
I thought
Oh,
you said
damn,
78.
you're legit. You're legit Gen X.
Oh.
Yeah, I was basically 11 years old in 1980. So any 80s reference you get is, it's for me. So basically.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Well, then you're definitely one of us because we wax Gen Xy here on
Yes.
Gen Xy on the Daily Whatever show.
Yes, we are solidly mid Gen. You're early mid. We're mid Gen X, and there are differences. You'll see at the end when we have a little Gen X conversation about music that the picks are different depending where in this 15-year spectrum of Gen X someone comes from.
Okay.
Anyhow, I want to hear direct from you. What the fuck is going on there? You all are being amazing in Minneapolis. But you're on the ground. You're right at the epicenter of all of like where Minneapolis goes, the rest of us go. So, and also I just want to say, like, I'm so sorry for what's happening to your city. Like,
Yeah, that's tough. That is tough. Okay, you said I can swear here. I work under generally.
Oh
work
yeah,
under
no,
SBC
you can.
conditions.
the show is called
Fucked Up Friday, Matt.
Oh, okay. I was actually using that phonetically. No, okay. It's the fucking Republican Party of Minnesota that did this. Now, let me back up.
What?
Okay, I want to back up a little bit.
Okay.
So there has been this fraud problem, and I think there's a fraud problem everywhere, and we've had it here in Minneapolis too, where we create social safety net programs that are designed to help people out, and that's wonderful. I think that's what we do. The problem is between a lack of foresight to say, well, we probably need to put some fail safes here to make sure people aren't abusing it, and frankly, I think a lot of people in state government that just weren't doing their damn job. We had a lot of these programs get abused, and unfortunately, that did happen. There are multiple different programs feeding hungry kids, aid for rental assistance, English as a second language, transportation to medical appointments. These programs had been abused and were
Okay.
and people have been taking money. Now, not all of the people taking the money are Somali immigrants. Minneapolis has one of the largest populations, I think the largest population of Somali immigrants in the country.
Okay.
And they've been here for basically 20 years. They've been coming here because of the conditions of their country has been so horrible. They've been coming and immigrating legally here, and
Okay.
a few of them have been unfortunately breaking the law. But once again, not all of them by any means.
Right.
And
I
most
was
of the
going to
fraud.
say, Matt, what's sorry to cut in there. What's the scope of the fraud problem?
Well, it is. We're talking a few $1 billion. It's not the $9 billion they're saying, but it is a few $1 billion. I'll give you one example. There's a thing called Feeding Our Future, this was a huge scandal. Now, Amy Bach, which, by the way, is not a Somali name. That's a good old-fashioned Minnesota name.
Right.
She's a white woman in town. She figured out a plan. This was a program that was designed to feed kids during COVID that would usually be in school. And so they were getting money from the federal government to provide food and meals, breakfast and lunch to school children in their communities during the COVID. Well, the numbers were just not adding up. I mean, every site was supposedly having more kids than lived in the area. And like I said, there was some bad management of this by the state authorities, not the elected officials per se, but the people within the state government. They just weren't, it was clear something was wrong.
Okay.
And she had created a Ponzi scheme basically where there was kickbacks to her for getting these programs in there. And so, yeah, she used a lot of the Somali community areas to basically, take advantage of this. So you kind of get the point. I mean, it was bad. I mean, we're not going to deny it, and definitely they're going to need to be fixed. But the problem here is the people who stole the money. Blaming the bank manager, the regional Midwestern bank manager, for the bank robbery is kind of stupid. Maybe there was some oversight issues that were there, but the Republicans don't have anything else to run on in the state. So obviously this became a Tim Walz knew it, and when did he know, and what, and why did he do it, that sort of thing.
Oh boy.
So back in December, there was one of the programs that was that had been abused a little bit, not as bad as other programs, but was a daycare program. The Republican Party of Minnesota, namely the Speaker of the Minnesota House, Lisa Demuth, who was basically was co-speaker with Melissa Hortman before she was murdered by a right-wing psychopath. She basically, because she's running for governor, wanted to try to monopolize on this scandal and hired this, mama's boy from Utah to come up here to do a racist hit piece. I mean, it was designed to be racist. Here's a bunch of Somali daycares, go over and harass them. They supplied some guy locally. I mean, I have still some questions on, did they pay for him did taxpayer dollars pay for him to come to Minnesota to do this? Did taxpayer dollars pay for his hotel room and stuff? And he went around and he did that video, which a lot of people had saw, which was, and by the way, most of the daycares in there weren't part of the scandal. They were just Somali daycares. And the Republicans basically sent this mama's boy out to go harass them. And we should also make the point, here's a guy trying to kick open the door of daycares and photograph children. Okay.
That's
why
where this
did we
is
not
coming
arrest
from.
him?
Yes.
If I took a Somali man from the inner city and took him out to rural Minnesota and had him try to kick open a daycare door and film kids, that guy would be lucky if he got arrested. He'd probably be shot on sight out there.
Right.
Yet this guy did this in the city, and someone seems to be wanting to charge him with a crime. Well, the whole goal was
I heard about that. Okay.
Yeah,
but I didn't get it. Thank you.
Yeah, here's the mistake that they made. The mistake was they thought that they could get, some Trump action on this, not realizing that Trump is desperate to keep the Epstein files off the front page. So they spoon-fed that false story to Trump to go after Walz and the Democrats, and that's how we get to this point. It's the Somalis need to be railed, and it's racism, it's everything to keep the Epstein files off the front page. And he will, and as we've seen with Renee Good, he'll kill people in order the people to be killed if he feels as if this is somehow going to be beneficial and keep the cameras off the Epstein files. And so that's what we have seen. We brought in this, and this has been just an absolute disaster. I mean, these roid-raged, repressed incel ICE guys that are in town who are constantly looking. I mean, I don't want to preview my story for the day too much, but it's this idea that they feel as if they have to control everything, and that there's no peaceful protesters, even though all these people are peaceful protesters. That every time an ICE officer gets a sliver because they did something themselves, it was a gang of people attacked them. And it's that every action they had is justified, and that every person they're rounding up is bad. And I mean, it's comical. And I'm not sure how much of this is being covered outside of the state, but it's comical how much they are lying. I mean, it is truly unbelievable. But that's where you get at. I mean, it's they claimed and this is one I posted about, and I talked about yesterday a little bit on the show. There is a minivan of African-American family in North Minneapolis. They mom and dad, 6 kids coming back from an 11-year-old basketball game. And in the shooting that happened in North Minneapolis of the Venezuelan man, where they said it was the Bolivian snow shovel attack force that got them. I know, hard to dispute that, but I can get to that eventually. But they basically they were just trying to get home. They put a flashbang grenade underneath the minivan. The minivan actually gets kind of pushed up because of this grenade.
Wow.
And then they tear gas him, and the infant that they had stopped breathing. Mom,
Right.
thankfully for her good, quick actions, got the baby where it was coming back. But they kept insisting this family was following us everywhere. No, we now have multiple eyewitnesses. No, they were at the basketball game and they just went home, and that's the way they would have gone. And yet, this is what we were dealing with. We were just dealing with it's dealing with the Biff, a world of Biff Tannets, and that they all have to lie, they all have to make this stuff up. And the people of Minneapolis, we're generally a pretty laid back group of people, but don't think you can F around with us. We don't tolerate that up here. And that's what the problem is that they want this to be like Florida, where the population apparently down there is putting on knee pads to greet the boys. We're basically like, like Rorschach and the Watchmen. You don't seem to understand. We're not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with us.
Right.
And so, welcome
in
to
negative 20-degree weather.
Yes, and enjoy. Oh, you're a little boo-boo. Is he cold? Are you cold? Oh, no, that little ice boy from the south who basically was January 6th. You're cold? Oh, no, not that. So that's kind of where we're at.
I was reading an article. They were talking to, an older woman out on one of these crews that stands out on the street corners, kind of with whistles, waiting for ice to come by. And, it was negative whatever degrees. And she wasn't wearing a hat. And she was like, oh, I'm just glad I get to wear my cold weather gear again.
Well, all right. I don't want to get into a weather forecast, but we used to be like this where I'm at. It's minus 20 right now in Minneapolis. So the air temperature, actually, I think it's warmed up to minus 17. I guess I can go with the light jacket.
Right.
But we generally would have this type of weather at least once a year. I mean, this is kind of what Minnesota was. Don't get me wrong, it gets hot as hell here in the summer. I mean, it is 95, 100 degrees with humidity. Delightful. That's why we have the lakes. But it's kind of one of those things where it is kind of, I was able to like, ooh, I can pull out the good winter ice fishing jacket. Okay, yeah, I'm ready to go with this. And these poor guys are walking out with like bandanas wrapped around their face. You guys are gonna have fun.
Oh my gosh. What you're telling us is very consistent with the reports that I've seen from friends of friends and on social media. What I had someone challenge me this week when I shared one of those posts on Facebook. It's actually a relative of mine who I hadn't talked to in years, who suddenly had to show up and be like, oh, both sides of the aisle, and you're sharing not facts, and this is just getting blown up. And I'm like, nope, this is how reporting works now. We are listening to people in the field. It's so good to hear it directly from someone there. Like, what do you want we did hear the story about the minivan and the 6 kids and the infant who stopped breathing. Like, can we just say fucked up Friday, like top 3 right there? Like, none of us are going to pick that for our story, but like, we're at that point in the country of infants no longer breathing because they got tear gassed by ice. I want to underline.
I don't know.
that.
I think you might have just ruined Matt's fucked up Friday.
Well, no,
the look on his face.
He already mentioned it, so I'm assuming it's not his
Not
story.
completely. It's part of it, but I'll get to that here in a little bit. No, I think.
But what I was going to say, what do you want people to know? Like, what is truth coming out of Minneapolis other than what you just said? Like, what do you want for us to get out to the rest of the country and the world?
Lawrence, if I can I go with my story then to begin with?
Yeah,
okay, because I'll tell you what's going on.
Okay. Well, hang on. Let's set it up for people who don't know.
Okay.
For Fucked Up Friday, each one of us has come in with a story that we think is the most fucked up news story of the week. And it is our job to sell it to the audience, because when we're done, we're going to let the chat vote on who has the most fucked up story. And it's a wonderful game show where everybody loses, even if you win. Especially if you win.
Because it's our
so
reality.
With that preamble, Matt, you can go first. You're absolutely welcome to go first.
Okay.
We let people choose because we've kind of found there might be some recency bias. So it might behoove you to go last, but it is entirely up to you. You pick. If you want to give your story now, go for it.
Well, and I'll do it now just because it's going to be in response to Dana, because if you want to know, and this goes for everyone out there, let's go with this. But first of all, let me say to the chat group, that is the sexiest looking chat group I've ever seen in my life. You look great. I love every one of you.
Oh my God.
Anyway, okay,
Matt,
so
you
now
got my
it was
vote.
the sort of creepy desperation in your eyes, Matt, that really sold that.
creepy, no, desperation, absolutely. Yeah.
I see the gauntlet has been thrown, but
Right.
So,
Somebody
guys-
might have played this game before.
right. You guys know I've always loved you more than Lawrence.
I've been
I've-
doing left-wing political talk for 15 years.
Right.
Have I been down this path before? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do we
Okay.
need to all play this game of like chat? You've known us the longest, and you've,
Just
I love you the most.
chat. Who is the first one to say hi this morning? Anyway, so
God, you're good at this.
as a radio broadcaster, flirting is basically my job. Okay,
Yeah.
so my story, and it's not necessarily a story that's been printed, but it's a story that's just become fairly obvious for us here in Minneapolis by what's been going on.
Okay.
Everything is a lie. Everything. The protesters. Oh, they're violent protesters. No, as Lauren said, they're people. They're locals. They're not people shipped in or paid. They're locals who are from all different socioeconomic classes, who are sitting there just mad at fascism coming to Minneapolis. And they are there, and they're standing there, and they're basically just protesting and witnessing and not violating any laws. That is not what they're saying. They're saying every protester is this violent man, like they have to fight their way out every day. No, they don't. As a matter of fact, if you watch the footage of them when they attack protesters, it's not like they're chasing after a suspect and protesters get in the way. They just start creating paths to nowhere just to go attack protesters and then claim the protesters who they keep punching in the face or spraying with chemicals, well, they shouldn't have been so sprayable or punchable. That's
right.
Exactly. So that's a lie. Every attack is, like I said, the Bolivian snow shovel assault force. No, and you hear that all of a sudden, and the reason why that story blew up in their face is the FBI filed a report about it that showed they were just a bunch of clusterfucks and they didn't know what the hell they were doing. And it was, but this is every story. Every story is this brave ice soldier was trying to save the world, and there's nuclear bomb and puppies. And the reality is, no, these are just a bunch of rage-aholic, racist sons of bitch, incel, January 6th interest, sexless virgin bastards that have come into our town and basically are trying to think to themselves that if I abuse people in Minneapolis, maybe my high school girlfriend will call me back. No, she won't. You're a loser. So there's that. And so they misgamble that. And then the last one is who they are picking up. Because once again, it's always the worst of the worst. It's the worst. There have been some bad people, but ICE hasn't picked them up. Those are basically people that were already being held in prison. And many of them weren't from Minnesota. They're just being held in Minnesota. That's of this whole list. They've released named 240 of the 3,000 people they've arrested. 240, 80% of those are people that do have criminal records, but most of them are not from Minneapolis, and all of them were basically handed over from prisons. So it's not that's not the same thing. And you see, you can get those guys because those guys are a real person that have a criminal record, and you can get a warrant. And so that's why they've been handed over, is that the federal government's it's easy to get a warrant for a guy who's actually been convicted of a crime.
Sure.
The rest of these people, the 5-year-old with the blue little hat, the elderly man put out in his shorts, Renee Good, all these people, these are not violent, bad people. These are people, there was a town called Winona in Minnesota. It's out of the state a little bit. And ICE agents went there and had lunch and then turned around and arrested 3 of the staff members. Yeah. Those were not fentanyl dealers. Those were not rapists.
Oh, my God.
Those were guys that fed them, and they returned the favor by basically arresting them. They're going into restaurants. They're following people around at daycares. They're not getting the worst of the worst. They're getting the people that want to come here. And because the world that they have left to come to America is so bad, they'll come to a godforsaken cold place like Minnesota and scrub toilets and shovel snow and roof houses in winter. And they will do these jobs. Those are the people. The construction industry in the state has basically come to a screeching halt. Not because all the fentanyl dealers and sexual abusers that were working on the construction sites. No, they're just taking all the construction people. The ag sector, the dirty little secret of America's ag sector, as most of those people out there vote for deporting undocumented workers, the reality is most of the people that pick our food are undocumented, and they can't operate.
Yeah.
Whether it's a dairy, a meat processing plant, a large ag operation, they can't operate without undocumented workers. Yet they basically have, they asked for this. So it's the lies. And when you look at the just everything these people say is a lie. Why? Because they know your relative who got back in touch with you will
Yeah.
believe that lie immediately. And then there's nothing that will change their truth. And that's the whole point. It's desperation beyond desperation, because they know this is all bad. So they're just, and down deep inside, they know it. They know that there's racism. They know that all this stuff. They know they're hiding the Epstein files. They know this, but they're just looking for the flimsiest of validation. And so, well, that one Venezuelan guy who was working for DoorDash, he had nuclear bombs in his house. I mean, thank God they were there. And that is what we're at. It's the cacophony of lies. It's the fact that there is no end to the lies, and that the lies are the reality. And this is what we are seeing, this effort by the federal government and the crap-ass news media that keeps printing their lies as like facts. We are Minnesota is reality. They are false. That is my horrible story.
Yeah. I mean, and we kind of
Mic
saw
drop.
it with like the first moments after Renee Nicole Good got shot, right? Because Kristi Noem came out, 30 seconds later, and it was like, oh, they were
Domestic
chasing the ICE guys, and they were threatening them, and their vehicle was stuck in the snow, and like all the crazy bullshit lies that she told.
Yeah.
That then everyone saw the video, and we were like, literally everything you said is a lie. Everything. Like, yeah.
Matt, it's so good to hear directly from you from Minneapolis. And what you said about lies and my misguided cousin, what's so interesting about that is I don't think he's MAGA. His point was misinformation on both sides of the aisle is what's destroying our country. They don't even have to be believed when they lie. They simply have to introduce the idea that there are both sides, when in reality, there is no other side to the Renee Good killing. There is no other side to any of this.
I'll say this one thing, because I understand, because I hear this a lot. Well, I'm not for one side or the other. I think both sides are bad.
Right.
No, you don't. No. And I'm not going to buy that. No, they don't. There's a reality and there's not a reality.
Yeah.
What they are people who do favor Republicans and did vote for this, and realizing the mess that they have made. And so as opposed to sit there and say, boy, did I fuck up and elect this guy, and this should have never happened. They're trying to find this nuanced explanation. Oh, well, I was never for this, and both sides are like, no, you need to go look in the frickin' mirror and explain to yourself why the hell you did this to this country. And I'm sorry that hurts your feelings, but grow a fucking pair and stand up and grow up, for God's sakes. You did this. I mean, none of you people voted for an immigration policy that was nuanced. You voted for the guy with the sledgehammer, and now you're shocked that the surgeon's carrying a sledgehammer when you're like, well, wait, I was for a nuanced policy. Well, if you were for a nuanced policy, you should have voted for Kamala Harris. End of story. This was never what you voted for, and now all of a sudden you're faced with the reality of what you've done, and you're frantically trying to find the door with Rose on it so you can cling to it and hope that they save you after the Titanic.
Right. You're trying to get out of this by, not smelling like shit. And it's like, I'm sorry, you chose the door full of shit. You walked into it.
Right.
You're going to smell like shit.
I wonder. I haven't talked to this cousin in a while, and he is a Jewish man with an immigrant wife. So I don't know how he voted. It felt to me like someone who is surrounded by people who are Trumpy and trying to reconcile. Like, I'm seeing some falsehoods. I'm not sure what's real anymore. So I need legitimate sources. Like, he started referencing, like, protest is great, but not if streets get blocked and people can't get where they need to go, then it's wrong, as an example to substantiate this. And I'm like, you're talking about blocking traffic? People are getting murdered. Babies are getting kidnapped. Like, where are you? You're like 500 steps behind where we actually are.
Yeah.
Right.
It was, so I just blocked him. I was like, I'm not having this conversation. I'm trying to,
And what did he just say there? Oh, blocking a street is just as bad as what that officer did to her.
Yeah.
It's even worse. It's worse. No.
Right.
Even if she was blocking
probably
the street, which
blocking
she
the
wasn't.
street.
She wasn't.
was-
It's Park Avenue. It's 2 lanes in the same direction. I know that. I know what that place is. I've been down there.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
exactly what this is. It's 2 lanes. She waved, one car went by. She waved the other car high, and they didn't. There is nothing to this. But you see, this is the world. Now, your point about is he is a person that's surrounded by right-wing loon balls that keep
Yeah.
kind of, and so there's peer pressure. I had a guy that came and fixed my heater. He was from Egypt, and his office was down in the outskirts of the metro. And yeah, he was like, yeah, a lot of these people down here are a little bit more conservative. But I mean, you know, it was kind of when he realized I didn't need to hear the conservative talking points where he finally started saying, oh yeah, it's not good. I think, like I said, I think that there's people that are just stunned by the idea of what they have done. And they're trying to either to validate it or excuse it. And no, you just effed up, you jackasses. And this is what happens when you start dancing with dictators.
Yeah. Hey, Matt, tell us about your T-shirt real quick.
Oh, Minnesota. There you go. That's the Minnesota state flag.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've got some shit guzzling YouTubers over here. I'm following the chat on YouTube, and they were like, "Why is that dude wearing a Somali flag on his shirt?"
Oh, is it a Somali flag?
Oh my God!
It's almost like you've never seen the Somali flag because there's nothing on the Somali flag. You stupid freaking idiot! I'm sorry. Is this how you're wasting your time today on a chat room complaining about someone's T-shirt? Seriously, look in the freaking mirror and get a damn life, you loser. Anything
Woo,
else?
Yes.
Matt,
this is the energy we like for Fucked Up Friday.
I think I'm in love. You gotta keep coming back here.
Look at me, I'm a smart guy. Dumbass. God. This is why you're a virgin. You're sitting on your Friday on a chat room complaining about someone's T-shirt, trying to compare it to a flag that doesn't even look like it, and acting like I'm a big tough guy. Ooh, God.
You know what, Matt? What if it were a Somali T-shirt? Like, I don't know anything about Somalian migratory patterns to the U.S., but I know that I have quite a few Somalian neighbors. I imagine that they are coming to liberal cities. I live in Seattle. Lovely people.
Great
good
food.
neighbors. Great food. Good neighbors. Like, it's so how far we've come from our founding principle. Give me, you're tired, you're poor. Like, we're a melting pot, you guys. Didn't you learn this in school? Yeah. I mean, even like another family member of mine was around election time, who a family member who did vote for Harris, who was liberal, but like, Florida liberal, older Florida liberal, was like, yeah, but Biden's immigration policy is not great. He let a lot of people in because she's listening to mainstream news, right? And I was like, it wasn't legal how they came in, and I was like the boats during World War II of Jews that got turned away weren't coming in legally, and because we're Jewish. She was like, well, that's because of anti-Semitism. That was so wrong. And I'm like, you're almost there. You've almost connected the dots.
You're so close. You're so close.
I love the idea that these white people here. Well, first of all, yeah, you weren't here first, FYI. I've got some Native American friends that you would love to have a discussion about this with you.
Yeah.
But you came here, your family came here in like the 1850s, and you thought that, hello, fine sir, here is all of my paperwork with passports and all the forms I filled out. Dude, your family scrambled off a boat that they stowawayed on to get into this country, and everyone else did. You act as if, unless your family was insanely wealthy when they came over here, you didn't have paperwork. You just came. So stop acting like this is some sort of standard that we've all of a sudden abandoned.
Yeah. No, Ellis Island, baby, both sides.
Exactly. Your family scrambled onto the land because they were desperate to get here. And the second you got here, your arrogant, pompous ass all of a sudden, well, we've been here for 20 minutes. You are a newbie. Stay away.
Oh my God. You're so right. You are so right. Shall we move on to the next story, Lawrence?
We should.
If I can, one thing, just one was fun. Yeah. Hey, trolls, let me talk to you for a quick sec, okay?
Ooh,
there's 8 billion plus people on the planet. Guess where you rank on any given day with me? Around 7 billion or so. That means I don't pay attention to you. I don't let you on my show. I delete you off my chats. You got plenty of other places to go self-gratify. I don't need to have you on my show, and I don't need to deal with you. You're pathetic losers, and somebody needs to tell. And there's not going to be a rebuttal for you. This is just me ending the entire discussion. You're a whole bunch of pathetic losers. Anyway, please forgive me. I interrupted.
There's nothing to forgive. That was beautiful. Carry on. Lawrence and I usually have a chance to confab, like what are our stories, but
Okay.
because I was in flight last night and preparing to take this trip, we have not. So I have a couple of potential story ideas. Aside to Lawrence, do you want to give me like? Actually, I'm assuming I'm going to go second because I feel like I'm not as prepared as I usually am, and that Lawrence should finish it out. I'm happy to do
Uh,
the other, but I want to make sure we're not stomping on each other because I have two
oh,
ideas.
we're probably not. I don't think you
It's
picked mine.
okay.
I do
Is
want to
yours
say one
around
thing though,
Minnesota?
quickly,
Yeah.
which is, Matt. I realized as you were talking, I know all those stories that you were mentioning. It's because I listen to the Matt McNeil show every day at 4:05 on Blue Ant Media. Uh, Please, if you're not watching Matt on his show on Blue Amp, tune in every weekday at 4:05 through 6. It's awesome. I learn a lot. And I've gotten all this firsthand information about what's going on in Minneapolis because Matt talks about it. Even though, Matt, as you've said many times, this is not your normal beat.
No,
Normally, Minneapolis and Minnesota are not the center of the universe.
I usually will talk more Minneapolis in the second hour, but usually I'm national politics. It's just it's like, well, I guess I'm doing this. Well, I will
Right.
also say it's a day-to-day show. It's on the FCC network, so I've got commercials, and it's a lot less polished than this crap fest. So, what you're hearing from me right now, in this sense, like, you hear me, and you're like, boy, he sounds deranged. Even more so on the regular show. So you can enjoy
With
that.
less swearing.
Fabulous.
A lot less.
I'm
Well, for
I'm
me,
so
from you,
excited.
yes.
Right.
I'm excited you
And those
broadcast from
ads
Seattle.
for those fucking macarons. Matt, are you going to get me those goddamn macarons or
I
what?
will get you, I'll tell you what, Lawrence, send me your address. I will. Well, I'll make sure that we can get them. If I have to overnight them to you, I'll do that. Okay.
Nice.
Ooh, I don't know what these are, but cut me in. I love a good
Yeah.
macaron.
Well,
Yeah,
it's. I'm not going to do the ad. No, I'm not going to do
Don't do the ad.
I'm sure you
They
could
for your
repeat them
show.
all now word
They
for
did not
word.
pay
Like
for
I'm
your
pretty sure I could do, the witch in the show who's trying to get the kids to sing,
Yes,
right? You should do your roofing in the winter because that's when the rates are the cheapest.
they are. They are. So
Oh my God,
There's
you're
the
so funny.
Spanish English dog play thing that's educational for kids.
over the
Wow,
Children's
Lawrence.
Museum, of course. Yes.
You're a super fan, Lawrence. I love it.
I mean, I'm literally watching the show every day, I mostly
Yeah.
to make sure that it's going off without a hitch and in case Matt needs any backup from our side, but
I'm very, as you can tell, I'm very self-deprecating. I will
yes.
criticize myself on a regular basis. The reality is I love doing what I do, and I love being there, and I've been able to create a career doing this. And and
Amazing.
a lot of this new world of the technology and stuff like this is new to me, and I'm kind of going along with it. So I'm glad to be part of this. You can follow me on Substack at Matt McNeil Show, there on Blue Sky at Matt McNeil Show. Those are my two mains, and you can follow me and torment me and see my stupidity on a daily basis there. So it's like, so yeah, I want to clarify, when I said Crab Fest, I was talking about me, not this. This has actually been a lot of fun.
Good. We're here.
That's
for
okay.
you.
We've got enough positive self-regard, Matt. We knew you weren't talking about us.
Well, I can see myself in this picture, and I'm like, you're putting this over the. Okay, sure. No, I did for a while. I had to do TV traffic when I was back working for Metro Traffic. I had to do TV traffic, and I was doing the traffic, and I kept looking into the camera because it was one of those cameras where you look into it and you can see yourself in the camera. It's the broadcast image that goes out, so I could see the map and everything behind me. And I kept looking. It's like, and you're actually broadcasting this, okay? It's like, sure. It's like,
yeah. I mean, in fairness, no, I was gonna make a joke, but I'm gonna leave it alone. I am gonna teach you at some point, Matt, how to click the fucking links that I send you so that you can actually get the Matt McNeil Show Substack joined into the show as part of the audience.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah,
if you do that before you actually start broadcasting, your people will actually watch.
I do need help on that. So please do.
Lawrence and I have learned so many tricks figuring this out along the way the last 9 months now that like come talk to us because we just sort of turned the lights on and we were like, hi internet, here we are, and have had to figure it all out as we go. So
when I started working in radio years
Yeah.
and years ago, I was working with reel-to-reel tapes, razor blades and tape, and that's how I put commercials together and stuff. And
Wow.
so Yeah, I remember the first time I got an email address. I remember the first time we had a website for the station. I remember all this stuff. And I mean, I'm no fool. I'm working on terrestrial radio. I know that, the idea of punching energy into a metal stick and creating a wave signal, that's going to go the way of old horseshoe at some point. And so I know that this is the way it's going to go. And it definitely seems to be the variety and the content are better. And when I look at Blue Amp, and for example, Lawrence, that's just good quality, man. And there haven't been a lot of outlets that have been able to get that so honed and so and complete. And people are figuring this out. And that's why I'm kind of glad to be part of this, because I can see where this is going. And it's going to be not for too much longer. It's going to be more Blue Amp than anything else, probably.
Yeah. No,
we
have absolutely, like, we and all of the people who are regularly in our chat, like, we've all kind of figured out Substack together, and all of us are kind of like, if we created a network of all of the people and shows that we liked and we all backed each other and promoted each other, it would almost be like a network.
Right?
It'd be 1/1000th of what the Republicans are currently doing right now. So let's go.
Yeah, exactly. It would be the tiniest step in the direction of information control that the Republicans have dominated for 40 years.
And there are so many of us. That's the thing. So, whew.
All right, Dina, are you going next or am I?
I'll go next because I'm going to be a little bit scattershot. First, I feel like Starbucks should be paying me because I had to run to the one next door, and it's like as big as my head.
I have no idea what you're talking about at all.
Right?
Pardon me. I need a cool, refreshing drink.
Hold on.
Oh, that was good. Anyway,
I already need another one. Caffeine, man. It's all I
am
run
not
on.
getting paid by Pellegrino.
Right. Yes. Are you going for sponsorship, Matt?
Yes. Nor I by Starbucks. So I didn't. This is not my story pick, but I do need to say this because it's not anybody's individual story pick. But it needs to be stated and underlined again. They kidnapped a 5-year-old boy as bait. And I don't have my laptop or anything today because I'm in this hotel. But so I don't have his name in front of me right now. But like, that's the most fucked up thing. Like that, they kidnapped a 5-year-old. That
all right.
poor
I have
fucking
something
kid.
else that's super fucked up. This is not mine. I don't think it's yours, Dana.
Yeah.
And Matt didn't mention this.
No, I have
the
an actual
autopsy
story.
report from Nicole Good came out.
I saw that.
And she could have survived the first 2 shots.
Yes.
The third shot through her brain is what killed her. She could have survived the first 2 shots. But an 18-year veteran of ICE, who is a firearms instructor and who is trained and a trainer, decided that he needed to take a third shot to actually murder her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those two things, like, we started the show, Matt, so that we would not become boiled frogs during the Trump administration, that every week we touch base and we're like, what is happening? And the escalation since things exploded in Minneapolis, like, fucked up doesn't even get to it. So yes, my story for this week that I'm going to pitch though is not the worst atrocity, but it is indeed fucked up. And I don't have the link here, but there are links. The Guardian ran the story. That's where I saw it last night. That we have proof that the White House took photos of protesters and intentionally darkened their faces and made them look weepy and distraught. And the example photo, I was looking at it as we were landing on the plane last night, and this is how I talked to my teenager, that I'm like, they did her so dirty, because it's a photo of a woman, and she's a Black woman, and she's got lipstick on, and she's just looking right at the camera, and she's stoic as fuck and looks like a goddamn warrior. And then you see the altered version. They've slightly darkened her skin, but mostly it's that they have her like ugly crying, like, "Ah," this terrible face. They did her so dirty. And it's the White House. It's our official communication channels who are trying to portray the protesters as these distraught, awful, and yes, browner, darker people.
Mm-hmm.
nothing can be believed anymore. That's just my story. That I was like,
Um,
this, because that's just fucked up. It's not an atrocity like taking kids, shooting people through brains, but it's something that is in any other time, age, anything. The White House altering photos like that would have been a huge scandal. And right now it's something that I just need to call out because no one will hear it.
and
And also they
multiple
did her so dirty.
and the
She,
multiple government agencies reposted that image. Now, this is first of
yeah.
all, if I can give you a little background information,
Yes.
Nakimi Levy Armstrong is one of the leaders of in the community. She this is not just some protester. This is a
Oh,
strong community leader,
okay. The
and
woman I'm talking about
yeah,
who
the
I
one you're
saw.
talking about, and I've interviewed her multiple times. She is
Oh my
actually
God.
she's an absolutely delightful interview.
Tell
Let's
her
make
my
sure you
daughter and
understand.
I.
Oh, if you'd like,
We're,
I can make Dana. I can make sure I get to make an introduction at some point. I'd be happy to on
oh,
that one.
love it.
Let's not
Yeah.
underscore the context here of this is what MAGA wants minorities to look like. They want
Yes.
them to look like they're blubbering and this they got uppity and we put them in their place like
Yes.
a racist in the South after the Civil War. That is
Yes.
all this is. This is as blatant racism as you'll ever see. And it's just, and as a matter of fact, I can make an argument that I'm hoping Nakima Levy Armstrong will actually sue them for defamation of character because I think she's actually got a pretty good case on this. And it would be very interesting to say, well, I didn't do it. I don't know who did it. And they're all going to start pointing fingers at everyone else because I think she's going to have a legit argument that they did this for
Yeah.
defamation of character.
Yeah.
I hope so. She's got my support. She needs a GoFundMe. I'll donate.
All right.
It's
I
really
will
the
make
best.
sure. I'll make sure you guys. I'll get in touch with her and I'll share that
Please
contact
bring her on the
information.
Amazing.
show.
Yeah, she would be
Amazing.
very welcome here. And
Yeah.
this is kind of our jam, you know? Like we started this basically as like, you know, we've been best friends for 47 years, Matt. We talk every single day. This is just
Yeah.
like our friendship kind of broadcast out to the world. It was supposed to be about, you know, I don't know, fucking movie quotes and you know, stupid
Boys we are
boyfriends
dating.
and whatever. But
Yeah.
instead it's about, oh God, we're all gonna die because we're living through the end times of American democracy.
Right?
Ah!
Ah! Yeah. All right.
All
So
right,
here's my story.
Lawrence,
Here's
let's
my
hear
fucked up
yours.
Friday submission. Our bumbling, incompetent asshole administration that is so bad at everything and literally fucks up everything they touch is remarkably efficient because just a couple weeks ago we talked about how the United States has decided that it was pulling out of 81 international organizations.
Yes.
And yesterday the news came across from the AP that we're done with the World Health Organization. We are completely pulled out.
No. We
I
did?
feel
I
like
didn't
we're
even know
supposed to say
that.
that's what she said. We're completely pulled out of the World Health
Pulling out
Organization.
never works.
Right, pulling out never works. That's what my last boyfriend
More
said.
you know, kids. More you know. Rainbow emoji. More you know.
So we're done. We're done with the World Health Organization. We're
Oh my
completely
God.
removed. We no longer get any information from the rest of the world. Just in case you don't know this, the WHO, the World Health Organization, is the planet's early warning system for pandemics and disease surveillance and outbreak data and vaccine coordination. We completely walked away from it, like I don't know what. Like we're fucking unplugging a smoke detector because it's beeping, and so we think we don't need to worry about fires anymore, which is exactly the kind of Trumpian logic that they use.
That's
Meanwhile, we know that the bird
Just-
flu is mutating. We know that COVID has not actually gone away. And we know that thanks to climate change, crazy diseases like fucking MRSA and Ebola and all those crazy, like bleeding from the eyes kinds of diseases are leaving their natural boundaries because everything is more transmissible now. So, yeah. So congratulations. We're completely out of WHO. We
Oh
are
my God.
absolutely blind thanks to fucking RFK Jr. and his inept mismanagement of the Department of whatever the fuck that is, Health and Human Services. So there you go. That's my submission for
Jesus
Fucked Up
Christ,
Friday. We're
When did that
completely out of the
happen?
WHO.
When did that happen?
Like when did we
When did
fully
we
pull
pull-
out?
When did we pull out? Yeah.
This week.
Right. Like,
Like,
yes,
we
I
finished.
didn't even, I
In,
didn't even hear
between
it.
in between RFK saying something to the effect of, and I'm going to guess this, it was in between. We need more protein so that we can lift whale heads onto my car, and circumcisions cause autism. Okay, what was it? What was that part about the WHO in the middle there? Okay, yeah. Anything about the measles outbreak in South Carolina?
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
my
Yeah.
God. I,
I love it that they are so fucking incompetent at everything that it's like the fucking Keystone Cops. But when it comes to actually pulling us out of a useful and necessary source of information and vaccine coordination, they could do it like that. Like, it took a week, basically. Like, they announced it 2 weeks ago, and now we're done.
I thought you were going to go down the Legion of Doom peace crew with the crew that we put together yesterday. Because I read the list of countries that are now a part of Trump's Legion of
Right.
Doom.
Azerbaijan.
Bahrain, Morocco, Argentina, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bulgaria, Hungary, Indonesia, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Kosovo, Pakistan, Paraguay, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, the UAE, Uzbekistan, and of course, Mongolia. It's like, what, did North Korea say, hey, I'm sorry, I don't want to be, you guys might tarnish my image. I mean,
Right.
dear Lord.
I love that it's called the Board of Peace, which I only hear as BORED.
Yeah,
I'm bored of peace, so we're going to try war for a while.
I hope it's real, Lords. In fact, if you can get your little vocoder out, the very short letter he wrote to Comey, that he was saying, Canada is no longer welcome. I'm rescinding my
I
invitation.
didn't see that one.
Oh
Matt,
my
you may have
God.
missed it, but
It was a Truth
but
Social post.
Trump's
If you Google,
I saw that one. I did see
Trump's letter to Jonas, the Prime Minister of Norway. I read it in
this vocoder voice. Dear Jonas.
if you have the ability to Google the Truth Social post that he made yesterday, removing Canada from the invitation list, it's really short, and
Oh,
it would
nice.
I would love to hear you read it in that voice.
How
Perhaps you could go
much?
look at. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
How much do you think the U.S. Olympic team is about to get booed in Italy?
Oh my God, it's going to be a disaster.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, we're going to get booed so badly.
Good. I mean, what else can they do? Like, it's not the athlete's fault, but like,
Matt,
no,
I
it's
think
not.
you brought it up.
You're exactly right. It's going to be an opportunity for them to see the American flag and protest what Trump is doing. And unfortunately, our athletes are the ones that are going to bear the brunt of that. So
exactly.
I do hope they have good security, because I hope no harm comes to them. But booing, like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Matt, I think you've said it before. Like, the World Cup is coming up, right? We're co-hosting with Canada. That's going to be a disaster too, right?
It's in Seattle.
That's going to be
multiple cities around both countries, and
including Seattle. I'm excited and dreading it at the same time.
Well, and the nightmare they're going to have, particularly with the World Cup, is reminder these are wealthy people from these countries. So the guys from from Uruguay or from Brazil or something like that are going to get arrested and thrown into some Texas holding cell are millionaire and billionaires' kids, and I can guarantee you.
That's not going to go well.
And the problem is this: is at the end of the day, do you think that Stephen Miller is going to back down? What's going to win out, the racism or common sense? It's always going to be the racism. And I mean, I think if all of a sudden we start taking corporate leaders' kids from around the world and putting them into holding cells, it's going to be a freaking nightmare, man.
Yeah. All right, folks, this is the time on Fucked Up Friday when we vote. If you are voting for... Oh, did I just freeze or did you guys freeze?
I didn't freeze.
I didn't freeze.
It was me. It was my computer. If you're voting for Matt McNeil and his contention that everything coming out of Minneapolis is a lie, a bald-faced lie, put Matt in the chat. If you're voting for Dana and Dana, remind me what yours was.
The lack of truth, the fact that that they're darkening faces and making them weepy and creepy. The White House is officially manipulating protester photos to slant public opinion.
Yes, and if you're voting for Dana, put Dana in the chat. If you're voting for me, put Lawrence in the chat. Mine was that we have successfully, completely pulled out of the World Health Organization in basically a week and a half, and will now no longer receive sweet data from the rest of the world. All right, I am frozen on my side. I can hear you guys. I can't see you. I can't see the chat. So somebody tell me who's winning.
I can't see the chat, so
I can't see the chat either.
oh my gosh, this should be
Thank you.
hilarious.
I'll just take this as my victory speech.
Yeah, there you go. There you go,
Hang
Matt.
on 1 second
Winner
here, you
by
guys.
default is always our guest.
I can do something here. Oh wait, maybe I am not on a network here, so I don't think I can log in, but I'm gonna try.
All right.
Actually, I know what I'm gonna do. Karen Marie Shelton, I need you to text me and Lawrence and tell us who's winning. And hold on, I'm gonna pop this up. I might disappear for a second, but I think I'll. Oh, Lawrence,
there
you're
you go.
back.
I'm back.
There you
I'm
are.
back. It's a technological miracle.
Who's
Can
your friend?
you
Who is your friend that was about to text you?
Karen Marie Shelton is our number one fan who's here every day, being amazing.
and moderating. I was gonna take my phone and go open the app, which I'm a little worried might kick me out of StreamYard. But can you see now, Lawrence? Are you back in the chat?
I can see. All right, there's some votes for me. We've got a couple votes for Matt, a couple votes for Dana. Oh, this might be a three-way tie again.
Oh my God, are we having a three-way with Matt?
Bump. Don't tell his wife and kids.
It is Friday.
All right, so it is actually looking a lot like a tie.
Okay.
Yeah, seriously, I've got a couple. Here's one that says Matt and Dana. Another one that says Matt and Lawrence. So I'm
between you two. I do not deserve the win here.
I know you want to know it. Righteousness wins out in the end because you both. I think we all had very good points today. So it's just that this whole world is an absolute freaking dumpster fire.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
It's easy. It's easy when everything's going wrong at the same time.
Yeah, and
You're
there you go. That's the spirit of Fucked Up Friday, Matt. It's the show that everyone loses, even if you win, because
1,000%.
Yeah.
And Matt, we do still have a question to ask you. I know we're slightly over time.
Oh yeah.
But this is how we lighten up the end of every show when someone is a first-time guest, and especially if that someone is Gen X. We always ask the same question. Are you ready for the hard-hitting
And you're a
journalism?
radio guy, so you might kind of sort of have a good answer for us.
Maybe you might have an opinion here. What is the most Gen X song of all time? Right? I think I know what you're going to say.
Tainted Love by Soft Cell.
Nice.
That's my pick.
I love that
Nobody
one.
has ever said that one but me.
Tainted Love by Soft Cell or the Split Ends, I Got You. It's one of those two because both of those just kind of held on, as far as Generation X. I mean, those are songs that just kind of kept going and going and going. And I'll give you a great example of Billy Squire's The Stroke. That was a big song, but it did hold on, but it didn't hold on like those other ones. And I can play, especially Soft Cell, Tainted Love. I can play that song today, and even Generation Z is like, okay, that's good. I mean, it's kind of an iconic song for that time.
Yes,
and that's what I think that's what holds it on.
Yeah,
no one has ever picked that song, Matt, and that is my pick. That's the one.
Our thing, Matt, is kind of like if you were setting a movie scene, right? And you instantly wanted the audience to connect to like, oh, we're in the 80s, like, like we're in Gen X.
Mm-hmm.
If you played Soft Cell Tainted Love, everyone would instantly get it, right? Like
what I think you get when you get there is that you get what movies tell you we were listening to. But I mean, if you were playing New Order, or something like that, The Cure, these bands that kind of were under the underground there, REM, early REM and stuff like that. Early U2. I mean, Unforgettable Fire was a huge album. And then, of course, I would be remiss. I mean, I didn't say, and the one I think the most, the underground pop sensation was Prince. I mean, as huge as he was, if you ask people who were the biggest pop stars at the time, I think a lot of people would say Madonna. They'd say
Michael Jackson.
Other people, but Prince was just pound for pound. I mean, just he could not put out anything bad, and he did it all himself, and it was so amazing. So, no, I think that there are songs that you get put out there that we get told, well, this is what they were listening to back then. But if you live through that, I mean, there are certain songs that just kind of resonated, like the Safety Dance by Men Without Hats and stuff like that. There's ones that just generally don't get played in movie scenes from the 80s anymore when they're making them today.
Yeah.
Right. The reason Soft Cell Tainted Love is it for me is because yes, it's likable, and if you play it now, probably your kids will like it. But that is like if you play that in a room, like every Gen X head is gonna look up.
Mm.
And it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what you were into back in the day, if you were like into new wave or you were into arena rock or metal, like you like Tainted Love because it's just eminently like likable and of that time. I totally thought you were going to say Prince because of Minneapolis.
Well,
Which,
no, I like a lot of Prince, but I mean, if I'm thinking about quintessential song, here's one of the reasons why I think Soft Cell Tainted Love is in that category.
yeah,
If you listen to the beginning of that song, it is so unapologetically early 80s synth.
Yes.
Like, yet it has that it
yeah,
is as if you did that song with a guitar, it'd be a huge hit in the rock scene. If you did that
Yeah.
song
Yes.
with a remix, it might be a hip hop sensation. It really just it's a well written song that just
yes,
I think at the epitome, at the height of early 80s synth, they put this out,
yes,
and it just and that's why it worked.
1,000%. And did you say Split Ends?
Split Ends,
Like
I Got You.
I got you. Yeah, that is like a deep cut.
Never hit the top 40, but then
Yeah,
I
ended up
total
know.
deep
being
cut.
yeah,
It's
one of
such a
the
good
most
song.
profitable songs for it. It was I think I don't know how long it was in the Hot 100, but it is
Not-
shocking. The New Zealand guys. I mean, and there was the
Yeah.
Tim. Was it Tim Finn? Was in that Neil Finn and Tim Finn?
Yeah,
But it was the
before Crowded
crowd.
House.
No, that was Crowded House. They
That's
were in
Crowded
Crowded
House.
House.
Yeah.
But the Split Ends, they basically, it was just one of those songs which just didn't go away. And after like 2 years of hearing it, everyone was like, "Who is that again?" Oh, that's the Split Ends. And yeah, that was kind of the epitome of a rock hit that was never a rock hit.
Yeah.
It's such a good song, though. I love it. Okay.
Nice.
We could sit around and listen to vinyl all night. I bet. Like we are all three clearly like in the same vibe
Mm.
of what you need to be listening to if you're trying to present a Gen X scene. Um, it's been so awesome having you on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
you
you.
for
Thank
being
you.
here, Matt.
Please come back.
I will.
Everyone,
I absolutely will. I will absolutely come on back if I can, just really quick. As Lawrence mentioned, Blue Amp Media. I'm 3 to 5 with commercials and more shenanigans.
Right.
And then of course
3 to 5
find me-
Central.
3 to
Yes.
5 Central. And then, of course, you can find me on the Substack, of course, Matt McNeil Show there, and on Blue Sky is my main one, and that's at Matt McNeil Show over there. So, by all means, join me, and I look forward to chatting with all of you guys.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so
Amazing.
much, Mac McNeil. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you being
mean
here. Happy
it.
Friday.
Bye-bye.
Love you, mean it. Bye. Mwah, mwah.